Hello YouTube. Well, just been to see Star Wars The Last Jedi. Interesting experience. Don't know what to make of it really. It's sort of... Well, I went to see it with a couple of friends this afternoon and it went on for nearly 2.5 hours. And I found the film, I found parts of it annoying. There's going to be no spoilers in this, it's about how I feel. The film was marvellous as well in parts, but I don't know, when I saw it, it started fantastic, right after the last one basically, and then we got into the old character thing, and it was interesting when she met Luke Skywalker. It doesn't go the way you expect it to. You know, I can't say any more than that. It's interesting about Luke and how he's been torturing himself and dealing with stuff. You know, and you sort of get into that. I found that the Luke Rey thing was more interesting than the actual battle scenes. The film starts with an amazing battle scene. It is. I never quite got the logic of the bombers, but it's. I can't even complain about them. Look, look, this is a film where you're going to go see it, and it leaves you more questions than answers, which in a way it's good, because I've just sat in a pub for 2.5 hours debating it with one friend that loved it, another friend who sort of half was annoyed with it, and I was sort of in the middle, and it was interesting, the debate of where I said, what would you give it out of 5? My friend said 5, my other friend said 2.5. I'm going to give it 3. It was high quality, of course it is Star Wars, the writing were good, but there were parts where it did drag. Like the desperation scene, it did get, I don't know, for me I was getting a bit annoyed with some parts, and the villains in the film, was so, I don't know, I was expecting so much impact with the villains in the movie, and I felt a bit let down unless there's a twist in the next film with the villains. I loved Admiral Hux, he's just your standard arse licker. I really did like him, he was funny. You know, there's a great scene between him and Paul the X-Ray. It's just brilliant. It's like a call centre scene. It's just so funny. The film starts with an amazing bang. The dogfighting scene and Paul's skills in the X-Ray are just incredible. You know, they really are. Like I said, the Luke and Rey thing when she's holding the lightsaber out to him is really funny. How he responds to her is so funny, and you're thinking, what? You can't do that to her, but it's there. The Pogs, the Pogs are cute. There's a great scene with Chewie where he's cooked one, and they're all looking at him, and he's feeling guilty. That's a great scene. Poor Luke, you're going to feel for him. But trust me, when he starts, he kicks ass. Mark Hamill, when he gets into it, he is amazing. It was powerful stuff with Mark Hamill, it really was. And the Luke character, I can't even, you know, where it goes and what he does is just impressive. Carrie Fisher's amazing, and she carries this emotional intensity in the film, and you're really focused on it. I was going to so miss her, you know, and the Resistance gets hammered. It gets hammered, and the First Order, they're just completely, they are malevolent. Finn and Rose, great pairing up, great chemistry. Found out where they went on this adventure, met Benicio del Toro's character on this planet. Interesting about the planet, about selling arms and how it goes on both sides. It's quite interesting where there's this moral thing about people making money out of this war. Then we shoot back to the Resistance. Laura Dern, I didn't think she was doing much at first, and then she really comes into it. It's an amazing thing. There's a lot of tributes in this film, especially at the final battle scene. It's like Hoth. Yeah, you know, I mean, there's a load of tributes in here and sort of scenes in other movies. You know, and you feel that. I mean, this film is an emotional ride. It really is. And, you know, however you're going to perceive this, you're either going to walk out of that cinema and think, I'm going to go see this again because I need to get it all into focus because there's so much coming at you. But there is also some down bits in this movie. I found, I'm not going to really spoil it, but I was disappointed with Snoke. Incredible, unless there's a twist, I don't know. I found that this villain was being hyped up so much was such a letdown, but the moments he had, he was quite impressive. You know, and I don't know, there's a big gap with him. Kylo's the dude with daddy issues, parent issues, but it's that him and Rey have got this connection and it's quite intense stuff. I mean, this film, it hands over from the original trilogy. You can tell that there's a new team coming in and they're going to take on this growing evil. You know, Maz Kanata's in it, she's great, only briefly, but she's in it and it's nice to see her. I love Force Awakens. I mean, I'm going to go see this again. I think it deserves to be watched again. But just a slight part of me felt let down by the villains. You know, the main villain of the dude being the background. You know, I mean, Phasma. She again. She were underused, and I really like Captain Phasma's character. I've read the comic series about her life and where she come from and how she was found, and it's all right. There's a great fight scene between her and Finn, but it is again she was so underused. But I think there might be too many characters running about and you've got 2.5 hours to fit them all in. I mean, Poe Dameron comes into it. I mean, you know, if you're going to win the Star Wars crown, he's like such a cool character, he really is. BB-8 you're going to love. R2-D2, 3PO background characters. But there's so many questions that need answering, and obviously in the next film we're going to get a lot more back on this. I mean, Hux, he just makes me laugh. You know, Hux, he's like this assistant manager and he just can't get the big job at all. And Kylo Ren treats him like, when the opportunity arises, it's, I don't know, I mean, the scene of the fight in front of Snoke, it's very like, in some ways it's like Jedi with the Emperor, and it's interesting, and it's the same arrogance with the villain. But when we say Snoke, there's so little you get with him. You know, I mean, it's great to see him, and I mean the Praetorian Guard are awesome. But I mean the fight scene between Praetorian Guard is pretty cool. But there's so much in this film. I mean, there is a lot going on. But when I walked out of the cinema, I don't know, I felt a bit annoyed with it. And I can't explain how I felt a bit let down. I don't know, the rest of the film were great. But if you had the core of the film, that thing and that big mystery, you wanted something. You wanted something solid. Now you got it with Luke Skywalker. You got everything you wanted between him and Rey. I thought that were pretty cool. I can't go because there's an unexpected bit turns up and I can't go into that. But everything's there, and the rest of the characters, it's great. But there's some scenes where it just drags on with the Resistance when they're just losing and losing and losing, and then you start getting into Rogue One thinking, is anybody going to fucking step in and save these people? You know, you wanted that Star Wars magic. Obviously you get this, but But I mean, they take a pounding and you feel it with them, you know. So, after this, the Snoke thing I'm really annoyed about. I really am annoyed. I don't know how you feel. Let me know how you feel. I mean, I'm going to go see it again, guys. I'm going to pop in the afternoon next week and just go by myself and see what I think. The spoilers are coming up all over YouTube now. I'm not going to do it because, you know, everybody's, you know, experienced this in your own way. Now I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon and saying it's crap. It's not. It's an amazing film. But for me, it's just a bit of it where it just shatters itself just a slight bit, which annoyed me. But I'm looking forward to the next one, and I've got a feeling that if I go see it a second time to assimilate it a lot more, I probably will appreciate it. But if I feel this way again the second time, then I'm going to feel a bit let down by where this went. But it has opened up hope for the future, and I think after this film, I mean, a lot of tributes are in it. There's loads of like Easter eggs and tributes and all that is great. But by the end of this, it's opening up to the next generation of the new Star Wars heroes and what's coming. I mean, it is a beautiful ending of hope, because this whole film is about hope. Even no matter how bad things get, there's that spark of hope, and as long as that exists, then you can stand. And that is the beautiful part of this film. But the villain, he meant to be this ancient evil, it predates everything, and I've read all the people's versions, and then there were all the leaked scripts. All of that, if you've been reading leaked scripts weeks ago, wrong. This film takes you in a completely different direction. It's unexpected. And where it goes and the fighting scenes is just brilliant. I mean, don't worry, the action's in this. Kylo Ren is an interesting character. I mean, sometimes he's somebody who's got issues. But I think they've opened the door. I mean, he's Vader. It's like he's got the Vader kit. I mean, he's so in conflict. And it's going to be interesting. But Snoke says something interesting when they've got Rey. I mean, they have this connection. It's very powerful. And this is Snoke's downfall as well. I can't go, you know, which reminds you with the Emperor. Now, Sidious was an amazing villain. Snoke is nothing compared to Sidious. I'm sorry, nothing. And that I was hoping that we get that level of, you know, of the Emperor with him. You don't get it. You don't, honestly, you don't. And that's what I wanted, that full Emperor feeling of his version of it being whatever he was, this being that was ancient. And it was quite disappointing. But the Kylo Ren stuff is where it's going with him. It's going to be interesting, because he says in one scene that where as evil, as powerful as the dark side grows, the light's going to create an opposite. So somewhere in these films, it's about balance, and there's something in the middle. The whole film is not about good. They keep going on about in the middle, what is in the middle between dark and light. And it's interesting that this balance has got to be kept. So, I mean, might open the door to Grey Jedi, I don't know. But it's going to be, if I could predict what's going to happen in next film, I'd have to give spoilers away. But I don't think I can sort of got a general idea where it were going to go. I mean, we're halfway into the movie and I'm thinking, is this where number 3 could go? And then suddenly upturn that. So it is sort of fascinating. That's it. That's my review of this without giving any spoilers away. Honestly, I'd love to. I could do a 1 hour video on every moment of this film, and I can't. So at the end of it, I was quite happy with it. 3 out of 5 I'm going to give it. If I see it again and I enjoy it, then I'll go for full 5. But at the moment, 3 out of 5. I did walk out of there. I felt a bit let down to a point. But this is me. You might love it. But it was a good film. It was good. I mean, there were awesome parts in it. So that's it. Thanks, guys. Please subscribe to my channel. Let me know how you feel about this. And may the force be with you. And Live long and prosper.